Hey there, it's Stephanie, and today I'm going to show you how to use your revenue planning calendar spreadsheet. First, we're going to take a look at a demo version so that you could see how it would work. So on here, we have this top section, which is going to be your annual snapshot of your products or services. So in here, you're going to list out your products that you have. So once you input your product, it's going to automatically update in the rest of the spreadsheet. So for here, I'm just going to write template. So say you sell templates for $47. The next one, I'm just going to name an ebook. And the next one, maybe template 2. And the next one, online course. So as you can see, it will auto-populate in the rest of the document. So the next part is you're going to set your price points of what they are, and that also will auto-populate in the rest of the spreadsheet. And then you're going to get into the planning part. So here is to help you with projections. So if there is a certain amount that you want to sell, you'll type it into each quarter. So it's broken down into the 4 quarters for your business, and you'll be able to have a better estimate of how much you want to bring in that month per product. So say your goal is to sell within the first quarter 20 templates, 5 ebooks, 5 of template 2, and say you're not launching your online course until later in the year, we could leave that as blank. So then you're going to do the same thing and fill out the rest of the columns. So let's say you want to sell 25 this quarter and then up everything else to 10. And again, maybe you're not launching your online course till Q3. So in here, you'll again, maybe you want to hold on to these numbers. Again, these are just demo numbers, and say you're only launching your online course in Q3 and you're keeping it open for 1 month and you want to sell 50 units of it. So that will tell you right here how much you will populate just from this one online course, and then you could keep it 0 for the rest. Again, just going to input some numbers. So now when you look at the end of the year, you'll be able to see what's bringing in the most revenue for your business. So you could look and see that, listen, this course is going to bring in a majority of my revenue. So that's probably where you're going to put a large focus on, because maybe you could beat that number. Like, that's just a goal that you're entering. So this is just to help you plan your efforts for the rest of the year. So you could look at your other products and say, okay, well, maybe these $12 templates aren't going to bring in as much as I would like, so I'm not going to give it as much attention, or maybe it's something I'm not going to use down the road, and I'm going to work on other items that bring in more revenue for me. So once you have this little snapshot, you're able to see also how many units of each by the end of the year you want to sell. So if you thought maybe you wanted to sell 100 of your templates, your template 1, then you should adjust these numbers throughout your quarters and then plan effectively to try to reach those. So now once you have your annual plan, you could go down to Q1 and start planning for your months individually. So rather than having it auto-populate and break it down into 3, I thought about that, but then say you come across something that's not open until maybe Q3 for only 1 month, and that's going to throw off your numbers. So I didn't auto-populate it for you because I want you to be able to plan accordingly. So maybe if you did have a launch 1 month, you could adjust your numbers because you're not going to focus on something else that month. So I'm going to walk you through it real quick. Because there is a product launch in Q3, I'm just going to scroll down to Q3 real quick, and we're going to enter in those numbers. For Q3, we have 25, and it's going to bring in $1,175. So that's something that we're going to want to mimic down here. So let's say that we're going to do 7, 7, and 11. That's going to bring us to our goal number that we wanted up top. we're going to do that for every product. So now we have 20 for the ebook and also 20 for a template too. So let's do maybe 5, and 10. Again, these are just demo numbers, but this is to help you plan so you could finagle the numbers the best way. The object is to get your end numbers to match. So now we have our online course, which is 50 units. If you're only launching this in August, then you're going to put the 50 in August. So you'll see, wow, August is going to bring me in a large chunk of revenue. So I'm going to maybe lighten up July because I want to focus all my efforts on planning for this launch that I'm doing in August. So maybe you want to make these numbers a little less, and also maybe in August you're going to want to make them a little less. And this will really help you to set more realistic goals, because if you're not focusing on promoting your other products, then you might fall short of those goals that you have. So by seeing this snapshot quarterly, you'll be able to understand what kind of marketing efforts are going to be done to make these sales. So in this case, you might want to make some adjustments if you know that this is such a big launch for your business and it's going to bring in a large chunk of your revenue. You can adjust these numbers so that you know that your marketing efforts can be spent on your launch. So the next thing from here is it's going to pull all your data and your goals into quarterly goal planning sheets. So since we were working with Q3, I'm going to go over to the Q3 goal sheet. Okay, on this spreadsheet, it's the Q3 goals planning spreadsheet. So your income per quarter will come in, and also per month. So all this is pulled from the original worksheet, as you could see. So these numbers will match. So if you see July's 474 right here, 474, and that will automatically pull in. You have the 5,000, the next spreadsheet 5,000, just so that you know where these numbers are coming from. They're coming from the quarterly breakdown that you did. So you don't need to touch that column, so it's highlighted so that you know I don't need to touch this, I don't need to adjust it. So now you can plan out your quarterly goals for your products, your email list, your content creation, and your marketing, because all this is going to go together. When you have products that you're selling, you're going to want to be creating content, doing marketing, and growing that email list so that you can help your marketing efforts and hit your goals. So here you would, in column B, you would just write down your plans for the quarter. And then you could break it down per month so that you have a better visual of what's going to go on per product and what kind of content you need to put out. So it's broken down again by product. If you don't have 5, that's fine. Just use the columns that work for you. And then you'll be able to match your marketing efforts with your financial goals. So maybe that if you see August is going to be your biggest month, you're going to probably have a huge marketing effort going on in the month of July to build some momentum towards your product launch. So by having this, you could just have one clear view of what's going on, what needs to happen, and how everything's going to break down and play out. So again, this is going to happen for every quarter. It's going to pull in, you could see, and then your yearly snapshot. So this is just a way for you to really plan, know your numbers, and know how are you going to get to those numbers by having everything broken down. So it's just another tool that I like to use so I can really get a nice guesstimate of what to come in the coming months and what needs to be done for me to get there. I'm all about goal setting. I'm all about trying to hit those goals and plan accordingly. So for me, I think this is perfect so that you could really get a realistic view of what's going to go on and how much will be brought in per item and where you should be spending your time throughout the certain months leading up to like launches or new products, and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. So again, this is the full snapshot and this is a demo version. So when you do get it, it would be blank like so. Product 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to use all 5. And you'll have quarters 1, 2, 3, and 4 already built out for you. And then it will automatically bring in your financial goals per quarter. So you have this all the way up to Q4. And you can use this year after year. Just make a copy of this version and keep a master version for yourself, and then make another copy of your master version and just label it with that year. So you could use it every year and it will still be beneficial for you in the long run. You're always going to want to be planning and knowing your numbers, and you could always look back at a previous year and maybe mimic something that really worked well for a product that you were launching. So there you have it. That is your revenue planning calendar spreadsheet. If you have any questions with how to use them, please just reach out to me at support@stephaniecantelmo.com.